What's up, y'all? So we're out here again in the beautiful place. I hope you can see. Um, Talking about all minds, yeah? That's what we talked about last time. And we were talking about what we can learn from the all mind, and then we kind of realized that we don't really even know what an all mind is, right? And so in this one, I wanted to talk about what is a mind, what is the all mind, and a big part of that, of course, is going to be what is a mind. And then you start to get into questions like, okay, well, when you start looking at definitions, it becomes kind of a big game to figure out what they have in common, what they don't have in common, and all this kind of stuff. So I've done that game for you, for us, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And it's a goal. It's a goal. So all minds have a goal. But first, we need to have a little introduction. There you go. All right, so now that we've been introduced, what is an all mind? The all mind is, as I said last time, basically it's like those parts of the mind that are the same across every mind, yeah? And it's like the protons, neutrons, and electrons of, this is much more comfortable, protons, neutrons, and electrons of atoms, yeah? So different types of atoms, different types of minds have different attributes, different numbers of protons, neutrons, and electrons, yeah? But the core parts are protons, neutrons, and electrons. I think you guys get it. And so we're trying to do that for minds, yeah? And that's the all mind. And then you start looking at things like, okay, what is a mind in general? Maybe that's a question that you have. And there's a whole bunch of people who have talked about it. Leibniz talks about monads, and he says monads are made out of monads. This is later, but Leibniz talks about it. From Bertalanffy would say maybe a system is a mind, or a mind can be a system can be a mind. I would almost, anyways, doesn't matter. Descartes talked about it. You know, a lot of people have talked about what is a mind. And one thing that they all have in common, what you find that they all have in common, whether you're talking about minds or souls or anything, one thing that they all have in mind is the concept of a goal. So every mind has a goal, whether to stay alive or to eat or to keep the room in a certain temperature or anything like that, I would say. So all minds have goals, and then you can start asking things like, okay, what does having a goal imply? And suddenly you're confronted with things like having a memory, because the goal has to be kept in mind, or sensation to be able to see whether or not the goal state has been met, or some sort of perception, some sort of valuation, some sort of perception, so this is a goal relevant thing or not. It's not just stimuli or sensation, it's just stimuli. Perception is like the application of previous experience onto stimuli. So there's a lot of these basic things that are kind of implied by certain statements, I would say, that everybody agrees with. Yeah. So every definition of mind that I have found, or that you will find, in my opinion, includes somehow a definition of a goal, and that I would then say is central to the concept of a mind. Is one of those, like, if you look at it linguistically, it's like one of those central concepts to the definition. Anyways. Central concept to the definition. So that's what a mind is. Humans are, of course, one instantiation, one type of mind. And that's what we're trying to figure out, is how does it fit in? How does it relate? And yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, we're at 5 minutes. Definition of minds. So, for instance, if you talk about soul, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about souls, you can say, okay, it's like to do good, or every definition. Go look it up. You will find every definition includes some concept of mind. Maybe not direct, it's a goal. Maybe not directly, but it's in there. Like something that eats. Okay, if something eats is a mind, well, then it has the goal to eat, for instance, or breathes, or has conscious experience, or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. So that's all. I'll end it there. Concept of mind. What is a mind? What is an all mind? Again, we're trying to figure out, what the all mind is and how we can learn from it. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think below. If you know of these concepts somewhere else, I would be happy. I think there was some work like behaviorism. I mean, I've read it. Not Skinner. Pavlov? No. Tolman? No. Anyways, some of the early behaviorists, they don't make a distinction between humans and animals, but they don't talk about specific functions. I think they make the point that behavior is the study, and you can also study behavior in animals, and you can behaviorism. Basically the idea is they study animals because pretty much the same minds. Anyways, all right. See you guys later. Bye.